What's up, guys? I know crazy a vlog where you can actually see and hear me. Bet you guys miss it being dark-hearted. Alright, so I'm not gonna lie, I have the energy to stream tonight. I really do. But tomorrow is gonna be a long day. We have to get up at 10:30. I gotta get showered, cleaned up, ready for the memorial service, which is at noon. Um, I have the energy, I do, but like there's a big difference between having physical and emotional energy, and I think tomorrow is just going to be kind of a happy and sad day, like celebrating the life of a bud, but also missing them, and it's just going to be kind of a taxing day, I think, and then also trying to do a second shift at work, or not a second shift, but a part-time shift, but half a day going to work, and then I just feel like I'm pretty good at scheduling out how my week goes so that way I can maintain it. And I want to make sure I have enough energy to, you know, grieve and accept the loss of a friend tomorrow, and also be surrounded by really good family friends and hopefully some really actually good friends. And I want to make sure I have enough energy to process and cope and also survive the workday, and then also come home and stream that night. So that being said, since I am not doing a stream tonight, I kind of just want to talk um, about loss, I guess. I'm not gonna lie. So how I am as a person, that when someone passes, I don't I don't think I've ever healthily processed it. Not that I think anyone does. I mean, there are people out there I think can, but pretty commonly, I think most of us just don't know how to process loss. And I think my biggest struggle is that you hear that phrase really, really commonly, like, don't make it about you, it's not about you. And in a way that is absolutely correct. I believe in the essence of, like, if someone's gone, don't sit there and try to grab attention because they're gone and be like, oh, my best friend's gone, when they weren't really your best friend or even really close to your friend. You know what I mean? Like, don't be attention seeking because someone has passed. So I agree to in that sense, but I think a lot of my generation and stuff I even struggle with is feeling like you can't be sad if you weren't exactly super close with the person. Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm very close with Phil's older brother. He's one of my best friends growing up, and he's still one of my best friends to this day. We don't chat every day, but honestly, I feel like we have been such good friends that we're more brothers than anything, and we just live our life, and if we have time to be around each other, and we are. Like, if we lived next door to each other, we'd be hanging out every day, but life kind of has us distanced apart right now, and we just try to make time to see each other. And not only that, but his family was so kind to me. Like, in the Draw My Life video, I was homeless for a while. I went through some rough stuff. I was at my biggest weight. I was in a relationship, and that relationship went very toxic very quickly due to issues in me. I mean, it's not just my fault. Like, no relationship is just someone's fault, but it was greatly attributed to my mental state and how unhappy I was and how unhealthy I was, and I was very lost as a person. And that's okay. That's part of being an adult, you guys. For those of you who are adults and haven't been there yet or are in the middle of it, it gets better. It does. And a lot of people say that and it feels so empty, but I mean that. It really does. It may not be clear blue skies every single day, but it does get a lot better than the lowest lows of your life. But continuing on, I lost my house, or my apartment. I moved in with a buddy, and then I had to leave there. They were going through their own loss, and me being there was too much, and I didn't really have anywhere to go at the time. So I was homeless. I was gonna live in my car But I was working at the time, so um, I felt like it wouldn't be that long that I would have had to live in my car. I probably would have had to do it for a month and then been able to find a place. But irregardless, I did not have a place. And I told my buddy about it, Sai, and he's like, "Oh no, dude, you're not living in your car. You're gonna come live with us in our house. We got plenty of space for you." And like, plenty of space is not what you would think in that term. At first, I'm like, "Oh, they must have like a spare bedroom that it wouldn't be an inconvenience." Oh God, no! Like they have. These guys are so kind. They not only have their family there, but they open their door to anybody who's a friend of the family who needs a place, who needs anything. So they had most of the kids who were there, and I believe they had 7 or 8 kids, can't remember. I believe it was seven siblings, and a good chunk of them were staying there, plus friends, and they didn't have a lot of space for me, but they offered up the basement. So I stayed in the basement for about a month and a half, and then they said that they had like this really cool camper outside, which was big enough for one person to be in semi comfortably, a little tight, but I ended up actually loving it. So I stayed out in that like camper, and I lived there for months. Like I was very happy there. It was like April to May, June, July, maybe. So three, 3 or 4 months. Loved it out there. It was so nice. It was so peaceful. I needed something like that. I needed really simple, and that's what that was. And they opened up their doors to me, and they let me live there, and rent free on top of it. They just were like, you take your time and get where you need to get, and we're just trying to help. And while I was staying there, I was also a CNA, so I was helping take care of Phil because Phil had needs, and I helped him out a bit. And I love Phil to death. He has a great sense of humor. He's a little smartass, and he had this smile that like would legitimately like you could be having the worst day, be so upset, and then he would smile and laugh at something, and you couldn't help but find yourself smiling. And I got a little bit closer and I got to know Phil a little bit better, but still at the same time I couldn't say like we were like best friends growing up or anything like that. But and because of that kind of like estrangement, I felt guilty for feeling sad, and I know that may sound weird, but it's just kind of like I'm like I felt like I wasn't allowed to be that sad because like we weren't super close. And the more I thought about it, the more guilty I felt. And then I realized something that it's okay to be sad, and you don't have to justify how sad you are. You can be as sad as you need to be through these things. It affects you as your heart. That's why when people say that don't make it about you, it's not the way we take it. It is okay to be sad because it's affecting you, because that person affected you. That's not a bad thing. That's a really good thing. He was a really special person, and he affected a lot of people and made a lot of people happy. So it's okay to be sad about that. And not only that, but I think I felt guilty because it felt like it hurt more than that. And then I think I started to realize more and more I thought about it that it hurt more than that because not only did it hurt that I lost somebody that I care about and was an influence in my life, but my best friend lost a brother. And the family that took me in lost a brother and a son. And where I am today is only because of these guys. I would have been lost. I don't know if I'd even still be here today, as rough as my life got after all this. These guys were literally keeping me going. They kept me around, especially Sai. I got into that really, really bad thing of not eating and starving myself because I was depressed. And every couple days, I would come in the trailer and drag me out, and he'd act like we're gonna go hang out and do all the stuff, and then we'd end up at a diner, and he'd make me eat. He'd buy me food if I wouldn't pick something, and he made sure I was eating and I was taking care of myself, even when I didn't want to. And I think it just hurts extra because, like, the foundation of what my life was built on now was because of them. They are a big part of the foundation of what I live my life on now. And it hurts that that foundation, I wouldn't say is broken, because they're not broken. They're very strong. And I wouldn't say cracked either, because they're not damaged, but they're whole but hurting. And then that hurts me because it just hurts because I feel like there's no way I can repay them for all the kindness they've given me. But I feel like being there and showing them what their kindness and Phil's kindness did for me is the least I can do. And the least I can do for Phil is to keep moving forward and just carry him in my heart. Because not only did I get kind of close with him, but also these last 4 weeks, he has been very kind to me through Facebook and Xbox messages. He said that he watches my stream, and he subscribed, and he added me on Xbox, and I told him I added him back, and he was so supportive of what I did. Despite the fact that me and him never really had that like closeness, you know? But he liked me, and I liked him, and, you know, he, in my heart, he's part of my family. Just like Sai is, and Sai's mom and all of his sisters. They're like family to me. They're important to me. And it's okay to be sad about that. And if this doesn't apply to you guys because you guys are mature or you guys know how to not be idiots, then I think you guys got it down. I've been fighting with this in my head a lot. I've been confused and sad and down, which I'm pretty sure is what happens to everybody when this kind of stuff happens. But I'm embracing it, and for the first time in my life, I'm not gonna ignore it and avoid it and try to run from it like I usually do when there's death. I'm gonna embrace it and go there and allow myself to be sad and allow myself to mourn and be around my friends and support the family who supported me. And at the end of the day, that's all I feel I can do. But sorry that got weird and deep. And probably not even deep, but weird. But I hope you guys understand that too, that when you have loss, don't be afraid of it. Don't avoid it like I do, because if you end up losing them, which there's been a lot of people in my life that I've lost, and I wasn't there, and I didn't process, and I didn't mourn, it drags on for a long time, and it hurts really bad. So this is one of the first times I'm really just going to try to take it head on and go there and not shy away from it, so that way I can get a form of acceptance and closure, and that not only that, but I know what kind of people these guys are. I know they will be sad. They're also going to be joking and talking about memories, and they're going to find levity and happiness and peace in it. And I feel like when you avoid this kind of stuff, you don't get that part. You just float through life kind of sad and missing them. But when you go there and you share memories with people that cared about them too, I feel like that gives you some sort of, it's like a container, you know, and just the sadness pours out of it. But when you go there and you do this kind of stuff, it's like it puts a lid on it. That way it's not just pouring sadness all the time. That way you can close it off and keep the sadness but add happiness and keep adding important things to it. So that way it stays with you your whole life, but in a good, healthy way. And that's what I'm kind of hoping from this. And I'm not saying any names or anything like that besides their first names, because I'm sure they probably wouldn't love that I'm vlogging about this, because I'm sure they don't want this out there. And I'm sorry if any of you guys end up watching it and you're not happy about this, but I have a feeling you guys wouldn't mind. And if any of you guys do watch it, I want you to know that I'm really, really sorry for your guys' loss. I'm sorry that you guys lost Phil. I know he's gonna be in a much happier place. Not that he couldn't have had a better family. Not that he honestly could not have had a happier life. It's just, all you can do is be sorry during this stuff. And try your best. Alright guys, I'm gonna try to eat. I'm gonna try to relax a little bit. Get some sleep. I love you guys. Stay safe. I'll see you guys tomorrow, okay? Later.